It's an interesting question, which there's many answers to. Why are we called Yehudim? The pasuk in Vayechi says, "Yehuda at Yeducha achicha," in Mem Tesches, and we're called Yehudim. So,
I'm
there are many answers to this question. Just to strengthen the question a little bit more, the land of Israel, right, is called Eretz Yisroel. Eretz Yisroel. So we see that our land is named after Yisrael, which is basically Yaakov. Right? So for thousands of years, this has been going on. We're called Yehudim, right? Based on Yehuda, one of the sons of Yaakov, one of the Shvatim. Right? But the obvious question is, why are we not called Yisraelim after Yaakov himself? Right? Bnei Yisrael. Hashem says to Yaakov, Lo Yaakov, Yormo Shmechakim Yisrael. You're going to be called Yisrael now. In Lamed Beis, under the paragraph over there. So now Leinu L'Shabeach, the Zilber addresses this, and he says Yaakov overlooked his honor of being called Yehudim. And Yaakov definitively decided that we should be called Yehudim. Why? This is giving honor to Yehuda. Tamar. Yehuda wasn't embarrassed to admit his fault in the episode between him and Tamar. This is a tremendous point that we have to keep in mind. Targum Yonason Ben Uziel actually says this idea also. This gives us incredible encouragement. A lot of times, throughout a person's life, there are situations in which he did something wrong. There's two options. Either he could say, "Oh, I did something wrong," and admit his fault, or he could toss the blame on someone else. Over here we see the importance of admitting when we did something wrong. And because this is so important, it was decided that we're going to be called Yehudim. Back in 2016, 2017, in Parshas Vayechi, we delved into this concept at length. It's actually one. Pasuk says in Vayechi, Chav Tes Lamed Hey, Hapam Oides Hashem. This is referring to Leah, correct? And she gave birth. There's actually a Gemara in Brachos over here on Zion that says she was the first person, Miyom Shabara, Bishim Ben Yochai says, Miyom Shabara Kadosh Baruch Hu Salama Lo Haya Odom Shahidu La Kadosh Baruch Hu Ad Shabbat Leah Hodasa. Leah was the first person to give thanks to Hashem. Why? Because she has Yehuda. Rashi explains, quoting the Medrash Rabbi, Yehuda was number 4, more than she was expected. A lot of questions on this. No one expressed gratitude to Hashem beforehand. No one. Shem, Aver, Adam Arishon, Avram, Sarah, Yitzchak, Rivka. They gave thanks. What is unique and special about this thanks that Leah is giving over here? So, Varley Katz in his OLR over here on this pasuk explains. She said, "Now I'm going to thank Hashem. I got more than what was expected of me." As we know, we had 4. We have Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, 4 matriarchs. They knew that there were going to be 12 tribes that are going to come. 12 divided by 4 is 3 each. So when Leah got the 4, that was more than she expected, more than her cheshbon. Now, she said, "Oh, I got more than my portion. I have to express gratitude for that." This is why we're called Yehudim. We are thanking Hashem that we got more than we're expected of. Now, there's an obvious question on this is as to there's still thanks that should be given, even if you're getting what you're supposed to get. We'll come back then. Quotes the Kunshas Darchei Noam. Reb Zatzal, also Chaim Shmuelevitz, has this idea. Right? Leah, this is a different level of expressing gratitude. It was constant. Meaning, there's one idea of expressing gratitude, you know, halavai by most people should just have in mind, I'm healthy, I have a roof over my head, I have heat in the winter, I have etc. I have food to put on the table. Right? Think about how miraculous it is that you could see out of both of your eyes, that your whole body works. Start studying the body. You'll spend many lifetimes studying your body. Optometrists, they spend a decade just learning about the eye. Okay? And there's still more to learn. Leah decided to name her son Yehuda. Why? It should always be in the front of her mind that, oh, now I need to thank Hashem. That's something, that's a level of thanks that no one beforehand reached. That is the explanation of the Gemara that says that when Hashem created the world, no one thanked Hashem. What do you mean? All the avos and imos are chopped liver? They thanked Hashem. They did, but not to this degree. To name someone and leave it for this. That's the idea over here. That's one explanation over here. Then Netziv in his Emek Sheltos explains, when a person makes a Sudos Hodah, they make a special meal to commemorate the fact that they're expressing gratitude from a miraculous event that occurred in their lives that could have been incredibly dangerous or fatal. And they survived it. At the time of the Beis HaMikdash, they would bring a Korban Toda. Korban Toda, it's accompanied with 40 loaves of bread. Even people who eat a lot ain't gonna eat 40 loaves of bread. That's a tremendous amount. Not only that, they have to be eaten within a 24-hour period. Why? Because the only way to consume that much is if you invite friends and family. That's how you express gratitude, when there's others involved also. Really, everyone, this is a deeper explanation. Really, everyone should perform a meal every single day. Really, we should thank Hashem every single day, more than just Modim. More than just Modim. We say in Modim thrice daily. We thank Hashem there. Very good, but it should be more. Mizmor L'Soida, we say in Pesach D'Zimra. It's just that we don't openly see the miracle. Therefore, we don't make that meal. But someone who saw an open miracle, so to say, had an incredible life-changing experience, he makes a meal. Because he's a messenger of Hashem, that he was able to see a miraculous event that Hashem did, a miracle. And therefore, everyone else is involved, because really they experience miracles on a daily basis as well. Then he says, when you make this meal, don't spend all your money on it. Make sure you allocate money to give to poor people as well. Especially if they don't have the proper means and finances. But this is a very important point when it comes to thanking Hashem, and it's something that we need to keep in mind when it comes to thanking Hashem. In davening, we do Chazaras Hashatz. We repeat the whole Shemona Esrei. The only part of Chazaras Hashatz where we don't just stay there passively, for the most part, and answer Baruch Baruch Shemo Amen is Modim. Because Modim, you gotta thank Hashem yourself. The Alvudram explains, you can't appoint a messenger to do it. You yourself have to thank Hashem. It's a good idea. Spend a few minutes every single day just to think about how fortunate we are that everything works. To thank Hashem. Another approach to this, Shimshon Pinkas Atzal in his Tiferet Shimshon explains from Parshas Vayechi in this pasuk, Apam Oides Hashem al King Kadosh Shmo Yehuda. Says we have to thank Hashem for everything. That's why Leah called Yehuda Yehuda. Hoda, thanks. Same word. There's a long piece over here. It's in the Malmarim. Lengthy piece on this. And basically, to summarize, around 7 pages in a few minutes from what he says over here is that why didn't Leah express gratitude for the first 3 children that she had, Reuven, Shimon, and Levi? Only the 4th. Rashi explains, Hapam oide. I got more than my portion. Now I should thank Hashem. Based on what the Medrash says, because of the amount that they were destined to have, we said, what does this mean? I took more than my portion. What does this mean? Can't give thanks that you got your portion? The fact that you could walk normally, you could talk normally, hear normally, etc. Hashem is obligated to give her, so to say. What's going on over here? Hashem doesn't owe us anything. We see from over here a deep idea. We see that there's a different level that we need to express gratitude when we get something that is above and beyond what we were destined for, so to say. Yes, we agree. The first 3 children, Leah needs to express gratitude. We agree. And Hashem wasn't obligated to give them to her. Nevertheless, there was some sort of, it was already set up that she was going to get 3. It was already set up that way. And therefore, there's a special thanks that is in order that Leah gave once she got more than she was expected, so to say. That's Yehuda. Try to express gratitude, special gratitude for something that was above and beyond for us. Hashem gives us a lot. Life, health, family, children, etc., Torah, mitzvahs. But from everything that Hashem gave us, when it's above and beyond, we have to express our thanks. He says that's Nagil v'nismach habach. That's what he says. He goes into this a little bit more. Those are 3 different answers as to why we're called Yehudim. Just to give a recap, answer number 1, you saw, which is this idea of to admit. Yehuda was willing to admit his fault. Answer number 2 is what we saw from Chaim Shmuelevitz and the Aryeh, expressing gratitude. Thanks. In particular, that getting more than what it is, but calling someone that so it's constantly on your mind. And then number 3 from this Rapinkus, which I guess is similar, is when it's more than you're destined to, in the elaboration of that, it's perhaps a higher level. There's a lot more to look into over there. So those are 3 different answers. We went into this a lot more in Parshas Vayechi over there. Any questions, comments on this?
So when did the switch happen? We were from Bnei Yisrael to Yehudim.
That it seems like happened. It definitely happened the latest by this time in Vayechi, when according to the Targum Yonason Ben Uziel, when Yaakov realized that he admitted his fault, and Yaakov made the decision then and there, before he passed. Yaakov made the decision.
Correct. But I mean, the 24th there was still referred to Bnei Yisrael. You don't see it's called Yehudim.
Correct. We're called Bnei Yisrael, but Yaakov made the decision that for future generations, that's what we're going to be called. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely by there, the latest. Yeah.